Good evening and welcome to News. I'm Salma Taba, coming up in tonight's edition of News. First Lady Sia Kroma visits Beijing, China to seek funds to boost education in the country. Counsel for the National Electoral Commission describes the motion by plaintiff applicants as an abuse of process. Minister of Education, Science and Technology engages Conference of Principals on complaints on the public on exorbitant school charges. And Inspector General of Police meets with civil society organizations and the media for a peaceful conduct of the 2018 elections. All the stories and more lined up within the next 1 hour of News Hour tonight. Welcome to News Hour tonight. For our first story this evening, the Peace Celebration Party has held its National Delegates Convention, and which saw the re-election of the embattled chairman and leader, Honorable Dr. Baba Kande Conte, as flag bearer for the March 7, 2018 elections. The party has also relegated the former Secretary General and other members of the PLP on allegations of disloyalty. Our own Sylvester was there.
The Peace Celebration Party has been embroiled in intra-party rancor, leading to the issuance of a press statement by some members of the party denouncing the embattled chairman and leader, Dr. Baba Kande Conte. In spite of all this, the party has since 2002 been participating in general elections in the country, winning seats in parliament and at council. The former regional chairman for Western Urban and Rural, now general secretary of the PLP, Reverend Samuel Olujohn, expressed gratitude to all members of the party for giving him the opportunity to serve for the 5 years. He urged the party not to give up, but to be always prepared to take part in every election. Chairpersons of Eastern, Southern and Northwestern regions all called on members to endure tribulation, resist any form of intimidation, and embrace change amidst the pushing and shoving. Deputy National Chairman and leader of the People's Liberation Party, Alhaji Abubakar Sulaiman Terali, highlighted the background of the formation of the party. He said that some executive members ceased their membership status after the then leader, Johnny Paul Kuruma, left the party. Alhaji Abubakar Terali added that none but the current chairman and leader, Dr. Baba Kande Conte, was willing to lead the PLP.
By then, the former leader was retired Lieutenant Johnny Paul Kuruma. Yes, retired Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Paul Kuruma. By then, we leader be debutant and now be yai to yai. They form this party. They bring a country we be there for streets very close to parliament. I don't be there the office there. But the fighting of the Peace and Liberation Party not only starts. So now to we want to see a surprise in people in the country. We actually shake seven. When this party is on, we know what happened. We either get for left a go.
The chairman and leader of the People's Liberation Party, Dr. Baba Kande Conte, thanked members of the party for the confidence reposed on him to become their leader and chairman. He said that the intra-party struggle over the years may have caused some people to abandon its ideology. He, however, noted that the disloyal behavior of some members of the Peace and Liberation Party did not help in bringing its members together.
So now we will not take this action when I will not sign not or expel them. And I will say the Secretary General in him, I don't mention her because I say we will not recognize her. She is the public servants enough for their party. If we don't make mistakes for don't bring account, this time we don't allow that. We in a public servant, I tell you, we in a public servant, whose time you get for Secretary General President? You can get all the positions of the Secretary General for the all tell at the office. Even that the APC supporter. Wetin happen of late? Now I don't be this thing. I mean, not send am for now, and I don't sign am also. Yes. And I sign this thing also. Yes. Because now people get the media and I have so. But because PPRC dey say until after convention, and two, convention I know they can take all decisions also. Yes. Any problem wey party get, they can have convention they can settle am. Yes. So on this, now, wetin.
He pronounced the expulsion of some members of the party, including the former Secretary General. The election of national executive officers to run the affairs of the party for the next 5 years was an important event of the convention. The endorsement of the expulsion and the amended Constitution of the People's Liberation Party climaxed the convention.
The Inspector General of Police, Richard Moibe, and other senior officers have held a consultative meeting with civil society organizations and the media on the way forward for peaceful conduct of the March 7 elections. The meeting took place at the Senior Police Officers' Mess at Kintom, and Mary Jallo was there.
This consultative meeting is one among many to come as we approach the March 7th elections. The police has been bashed by the public and some other key actors in the way and manner in which they carry themselves during and after elections. The meeting is seen as a step in the right direction to see how they can collaborate with other actors like civil society organizations and the media to chart the way forward for credible elections. According to the Inspector General of Police, Richard Moigbe, the responsibility to lead as an institution is filled with mixed feelings and high expectations from the public to adequately police the March 7th elections. When this new management was set up, the first action was to address the welfare of officers who have not received their bags of rice for nearly 8 months. He added that for the first time in the history of the police, almost 4,000 police officers were promoted who have been on the waiting list for far too long. This is a way of motivating them in the dispensation of their duties to adequately provide the desired security. Preparations for the elections, he informed, started far back in the early months of 2017 with continuous review as and when the need arise. This main source of strength, he added, has been the one given by multi-agency partnership. The integrity of the entire elections process, he added, rests on the hands of all the actors concerned. The Inspector General of Police assured the force is fully prepared to police the elections by providing a safe and secured environment without intimidation by any one or political party. The media must be non-partisan to create the equal platform for the voices of all to be heard. Civil society and human rights activist Charles Mambu called on the police to further their consultations with the judiciary as most of the decisions taken are influenced by other parties. Violence, he said, is as a result of bad decisions sometimes taken by security apparatus. Executive Director, Campaign for Good Governance, Valnora Edwin, said such consultation is important for a credible election. Ordinary citizens, she added, also have a responsibility to ensure a peaceful election by their conduct. Chairperson, National Elections Watch, Marcela Sambasisi, said they have looked at the critical roles played by security apparatus in the forthcoming elections. Citizens' responsibility is key to adhere to the laws of the land. The police must engage political parties to ensure that their agents and representatives at polling centers are not high on drugs and alcohol on polling day to avoid unnecessary chaos and confusion during the election. Commissioner Francis Soa of the Independent Media Commission called on the police to clearly define the line between the work of journalists and that of the police, increase confidence between media practitioners and certain police officers, and the information flow and response to critical issues on polling day must be given out timely to avoid heightening tension.
A civil society consortium on strengthening electoral accountability and governance has formed the Western Area Committee ahead of March 7th elections. The committee was set up as a regional consultative meeting held at the Civil Service Training College on Tar Hill. Ibrahim Summer reports.
The consultative meeting brought together several civil society organizations, ONS, the media, and other electoral management bodies. Among the issues discussed include nomination criteria, elections, information about the consortium and its activities, and the setting up of the Western Area Committee. The consortium comprised 5 civil society organizations: SDI, PACETS, WANEP, CAR, and NIS. Charles Lahai, a member of the consortium, said the initiative was conceived a year ago to engage on strengthening electoral accountability and governance. He said the consortium focuses on electoral justice, alternative dispute resolution, and peace, among others. The chairman, Integrated Security Strategy and Planning, ONS, Francis Languba Kelly, said the ONS will use integrated security approach to secure the elections, saying that they are planning to deploy over thousands of security personnel across the country. Mr. Kelly assured the nation that the security sector is fully prepared to man the elections with high professionalism and building public confidence. ONS, he said, has done security threat assessment to identify spoilers, highlighting various security threats, including intimidation, intolerance among political party supporters, involvement of paramount chiefs into partisan politics. Mr. Kelly told the meeting that with support from UNDP, ONS has established a situation room primarily to provide security intelligence. Executive Director, Society for Democratic Initiative, Emmanuel Safa Esquire, a member of the CSO consortium, said elections are very crucial in consolidating the country's democratization process. He underscored the need to strengthen the country's electoral process and ensures citizens' participation. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
The First Lady, Sianya Makroma, has concluded a 4-day visit to Beijing, China, facilitated by the All China Women Education through the Chinese Embassy in Freetown. Key among the First Lady's purpose of visit was to lobby for funds to construct a school of excellence for girls in Sierra Leone. Kojo Kwafa reports.
The All China Women's Federation is the largest women's group in China that advocates for the development of women and children. The First Lady was commended for the strides she has made to empower the women and children of Sierra Leone, while she was also enlightened on the strides China is making to empower their own women and children. Mrs. Koroma told the president of the All China Women's Federation that women are now better positioned in Sierra Leone than before, highlighting the various positions that they now hold in the country, pressure groups that lobby and advocate for the empowerment and development of women, and their own personal efforts to alleviate the suffering of women and children. She thanks the government of China for supporting Sierra Leone during the Ebola outbreak and also for the support provided after the August 14th mudslide and floods. The president of the All China Women's Federation says that the pictures they saw of the Ebola and floods were very sympathetic and that as a friend of Sierra Leone they had to act. She says that China also had its own difficult times, but that through hard work and commitment, they are making gradual progress. The president of the All China Women's Federation says that education is key for the development of every country and commended the First Lady for the efforts she has been making to educate the children of Sierra Leone through her projects. She paid tribute to the leadership of the Chinese President Xi Jinping for having transformed the country into a global economic force. The First Lady was taken on a tour of a children's center where she inspected the facility and briefed about the center's operations. She was also also taken on a conducted tour of the Hainan Women's Center, where women engage in tailoring, arts and crafts, dancing, tea making, and many other vocational skills. Before leaving China, Sierra Leone's Deputy Ambassador to China, Ambassador Kumba Momo, organized a dinner in honor of the First Lady, where she met with the Sierra Leone community and other friends of Sierra Leone in China. The First Lady told them that she is in the country to lobby for support to establish a school of excellence for girls in Sierra Leone as part of a legacy project. She thanked all those that supported them during her tenure and encouraged them to come home and vote for the APC party in order to continue the development that President Ernest Bai Koroma has started under the APC flag bearer, Dr. Samuel Kamara.
This is my second visit to the invitation of all China women's. Let me thank them again. We have had exchange visits. They have supported me in a lot of ways. They've supported my work in women and children. Yesterday I received a donation of about 2,000 from the Vice President. I call China Women's Federation. This is my second visit to the invitation of all China Women's Federation. Let me thank them again. We have had exchange visits. They have supported me in a lot of ways. They've supported my work in women and children. Thank them. Yesterday I received a donation of about 300 RMBs. Yes, that's 300,000 from the Vice President. I call China Women's Federation. To our spouses of the ambassadors of Africa, I say a big thank you to you for a donation of about $20,000 US. Helped us do the work we did. You will never be forgotten. I pray that other women's organizations will emulate you.
Kojo Kwafu, SLBC.
As a way to respond to complaints from the public over exorbitant school charges, the Minister of Education, Science and Technology has engaged the National Executive of the Conference of Principals at the Ministry's conference room. Lucian Kanda reports.
The meeting with the National Executive of the Conference of Principals, according to the Chief Education Officer, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Dr. Alhaji Mohamed Kamara, is to advise all school heads to display all charges on the school's notice boards. He asked that they submit breakdown of items involved in their charges to be submitted to the ministry through the Conference of Principals. Dr. Alhaji Mohamed Kamara, while expressing the ministry's position, says it's totally unacceptable that exorbitant charges are made, which is an unnecessary burden on the people.
The highest and most disturbing part of it is from the school, but they have to bring it to us as the supervisors. And that is really very disturbing. No matter what you do in your schools, when they say education, it is us. We don't know. We are not aware of what you are doing. The bad things that you are doing, we anticipate that you are doing things based on the policies. As administrators, before you become principal, we expect you to know exactly what is meant by the act and the policies, and you are following them. But some of you are doing the contrary. And after this 1 year, we are asking you now for the way forward, together with the breakdown that has been mentioned by my colleagues. But bear in mind that we will continue to monitor. And as I mentioned earlier, on those that are going to be found culpable, we are really not going to set them free.
Executive Secretary, Basic Education Commission, Horatio Nelson Williams, made it clear that reports reaching the ministry suggest that some schools charge up to the tune of 1,500,000 leones, which he says is too exorbitant and exploitative.
You should allow the parents to spend what they have. You see, and I warned them against that. And later on, information came to us through intelligence that some principals are charging 1.5 billion. And if you consider, even if they had to buy textbooks and pay school fees, they should not have up to, and parents should not spend up to 1.5 million. And they are saying that some teachers are asking for 2.5 million because then they go to their principals and request.
Meanwhile, the Conference of Principals is expected to submit breakdown of school charges to the Ministry of Education within its shortest possible time. The Chief Education Officer also warned that the ministry will take appropriate action against defaulters. Newsa, Lucian Ganda, Freetown.
Counsel for the National Electoral Commission, NEC, has described the motion by plaintiff applicants as an abuse of process, premature, and will also protect the work of the Commission. This submission by Counsel D.E. Taylor is in response to a motion by the plaintiff applicant, Yvonne Akisoya, for the transfer of her NEC registration of Western Rural to Western Urban. As Princess Gibson reports, the court proceedings presided by Justice Abdurrahman Mansouri saw counsels representing the two plaintiff applicants, Yvonne Akisoya and Raymond de Souza George, consolidating files for similar cases.
The two councils representing Yvonne Akisoya and Raymond de Souza George, headed by Africanus Cisse and Musa Mewa, in their submissions largely relied on Section 40 of the Public Elections Act of 2012. It states that where a voter who registered in one ward becomes ordinarily resident in another ward, may apply for transfer to the registration officer in which the individual currently resides. This could be granted upon the satisfaction of the registration officer. The councils argue that the provision is mandatory, placed on the Electoral Commission to protect the rights of plaintiffs. Counsel for the National Electoral Commission, NEC, D.E. Taylor, also submitted that the plaintiffs should have reviewed their registration during the exhibition by NEC in August, pointing out that the Office of the Registration Officer is not in operation and requires the appointment of one. The matter has been adjourned to Friday, January, for further arguments and ruling. Meanwhile, counsel for the National Electoral Commission, D.E. Taylor, has vowed to file an opposing affidavit against the adjournment date. Princess Gibson, SLBC News.
Choi International Foundation has presented a check of 100 million to the Choi Scholarship Fund for 147 school-going pupils in both primary and secondary schools in the country. The presentation was done by the Financier Controller, Choi Group, Harish Adnani. Aruna Pachikuma sent us this report.
Since 1967, the Choi International Foundation has been providing scholarship to primary and secondary schools in the country through the Choi Scholarship Fund to less privileged children in the country. Presenting the check to the Board of Trustees of Choi Scholarship Fund, the Financial Controller of Choi Group, Harish Agnani, said the scholarship is a regular gesture from the late Pa Choi Garani to the needy school-going children and in line with his vision to improve the education and health facilities in the country. He said this year, a total of 100 million loans have been allocated to the fund for 147 children nationwide.
The religion, tribe is not a criteria.
We don't look into all that. They decide who are the beneficiaries, who should, be awarded this scholarship. We don't interfere in this. The committee decides, and they will give you the more details about this one.
Receiving the check on behalf of the children, the chairperson, Choi Scholarship Fund, Estelin Palmer, thanked the foundation for their continued support to the less privileged children. She said the Choi International Foundation has been supporting the health sector for many years now. As part of their social responsibility, they also provide foodstuff to the old people's and children's homes every month.
Once we have chosen the needy children, we follow up their progress in the school, and then we continue with the scholarship. So you find out that some children start receiving this award from class 4 onto SSS 4. Because they have been, every year, they have been fulfilling the requirements of the committee.
The grant will be handed over on the 10th and 11th of January 2018. The foundation does not only provide funds for the day-to-day running of the Choi Memorial Hospital, but also seldomly procure modern medical equipment to upgrade the facilities at the hospital to international standards.
The Deputy Chairman of the All People's Congress, Port Local Branch, has brought together former aspirants for councillor position in Ward 242 in the Kafubolom Chiefdom to settle the impasse that has existed when the symbol was awarded. Ali Sumo was addressing hundreds of APC supporters in Kafubolom where the reconciliatory meeting took place. Asimiba reports.
The meeting attracted people from Conakry, Mahera and other surrounding communities in Kafubulom and beyond. The attendees were various supporters of former councillor aspirants. Because of Mr. Suma's leadership, he was able to bring together all the 7 former aspirants who were not given the symbol. In return, they pledged their support and commitment to the APC party and the person who received the symbol. One of those who lost, Abdullah Stanley Kagbo, told the Guardian that he is ready to support the person whom the party had given the symbol. Mr. Kagbo promised his unflinching support to Dr. Samura Kamara and the person whom the party gave the symbol.
Me, now the former councillor, when Councillor Abdullah Stanley Kagbo, incumbent, let God continue for El Puna. Nobody take what you call a metaphorical story. Like what you look them in the zone, and like know how they look. Lord, not look to that. For whatsoever APC pick na the correct person, Lord take a into consideration.
Chairlady APC Holland Branch, Magdalene Memunatu Conte, called on the APC supporters to stand behind the party for victory. APC Vice Chairlady Constituency 077 Kadiatu Kamara assured the APC supporters that they have accepted the choice of the party.
That's all thing. We not say we don't try, and we still try for APC, and we die there. I don't say we don't like APC. If we don't like APC, we don't like Kaya. So if you have a big woman, become a woman there. I don't say when I say woman, when I say good man, a woman I get. If you have a good woman there, you know what? When I say this man is a very strong woman, when I get strong woman there now, you don't go stand. They are not saying woman and a calf pull on. They're not ready for ASOP, APC and this chiefdom.
APC Mahera Section Chairlady Ada Kamara reaffirmed their support to the APC. The person who got the APC symbol for the councillor, Abdul Karim Silla, assured the APC supporters, including those who he contested with, that he will work closely with them. Mr. Silla called on them to put the interest of the APC above their own and support his candidature. The APC candidate for 242 and the former councillor aspirants had a friendly hug to show to their supporters that they are together. Deputy Chairman, APC Port Local District, said he was impressed with the way the people of Kafubulom received the outcome of the awarding of symbols for councillors and praised the APC supporters in Kafubulom. He presented the person who received the symbol and those who lost to the audience and held their hands together as a sign of unity among the winner and the losers.
2 months time, election they come. And the beg una as executive, we get control of una people and our zonal area them. And now the work will start. Because before election they come, now begin work. Where they see we, APC, Tolongo. Una go tell una people and say, a honorable, a councillor, na parliament or council without having a president at state house, na void. So, we go for votes. In the first vote, president, mayor, chairman of councils, honorables, and councillors. This is the message where I want to preach to all the people that we area them.
The former aspirants and the councillor candidates hugged one another to show the people that they have buried the hatchets. While other communities are struggling to settle the post-conflict of the awarding of symbols, the APC Kafubulon branch has managed to bring together all the former aspirants who have now vowed to put hands on deck to give victory to the APC in the world.
Welcome back to News. This is News Live on the SLBC. Well, let's go for a short break, and when we return, more stories ahead. Welcome back to News. A cross-section of attire-based executive members have pledged their support for the National Grand Coalition Party. According to the Public Relations Officer, Saidu Abbas Tumboya, who is also parliamentary aspirant for Constituency 122 under the NGC, decided to join the NGC because they believe in the leadership of the party. They made a declaration at the NGC head office at Wilkinson Road.
And many, one of which I have served my community as a teacher for over 5 years, teaching students from magazine on to probate, financial accounts, cost accounting, auditing and taxation. And presently I am a certified custom broker who has been licensed by NRA at Wataki. I own 2 companies, Tamarana Logistics and Custom Broker. I have employed a lot of youth within Fube and beyond, right, who are presently working for me, and they are benefiting a lot in order to sustain their families. Thirdly, I am the PRO, the mouthpiece of the National Union of Attire Bases, which comprises of over 700,000 membership across the country. And I have advocated for them on so many projects. I have implemented a lot of developmental projects which have benefited a lot of youth across the country. But before being a member of Attire Base, I was once an election observer who ran to the rank of Apia Financial Secretary, observing elections for quite a number of years. And today I am glad to join the NGC because I believe the NGC doesn't only have the vision, but they have people who have the know-how to transform Sierra Leone.
Mostly when people like talk about that Attire Base, people never understand. Like you just look at this, say
Hey, man, they go sit down, they just sip something, and they talk for cook, then sit down, then get their own philosophy, and then they talk. But when you understand what the attire base they about, when you understand that if you listen to the speech that we did gentleman and here today, you go don't know say these are very thoughtful people who care about the future of this country. I'm surprised when I mentioned the number. 700,000 people belonging to so many attire based in the country. I'm really surprised. And just seeing the kind of people there, the man and woman, the way they have the whole up, just seeing the whole of people there, to the extent that I do it for MP. Me, I don't know, but I'm impressed. I'm impressed. NDC, one of the things that people like ask me, who I go on sign and they say, what's in our base? The visa they talk say, oh, na Kailang or na Gambia or na this. I say, we don't get base. We don't get geographical base. That demographic base you get. What do you mean? We base na the youth set. We comprise 58% of the voters. We base na people them who are professionals, who are fed up with chasing the happen in this country. We base very wide. The last 7 years can they go? When we go Kailang, I was surprised. Darush and Wema, if you see where the young people that they run there now, they're not they look at tribe, they're not they look at region. All they look at, these are people who don't see who are scared, they're not able to get work. These are people who don't come on college, they're not able to get work. These are people who get aspirations. And so there is in the limits of people going to politics.
That was the Vice Presidential running mate of the National Grand Coalition addressing a cross-section of Atar-based executive that actually pledged their support for the NGC. Sierra Leoneans living in Sweden has supported Caritas Freetown with medical equipment worth $50,000. The gesture was given by Building Human Bridges based in Sweden. This is to complement the health sector in the country. Public Relations Officer, Sierra Leoneans living in Sweden, Ishmael Kagbo, made a presentation at the Christ the King Hospital at Kesetan, Waterloo.
Well, for the past almost 2 years, we've been working on a very big project that has to do with equipping medical centers in Sierra Leone. And after a lot of rigmarole, we have eventually managed to send a 40-foot container filled with basic medical equipment that we have sent to Caritas, an organization that works in Sierra Leone. They have gone in to accept the offer, which means they have also taken up some responsibilities for the equipment that have been sent to them. Also very happy for the fact that at least someone in Sierra Leone opted to receive this equipment, because we have been struggling to send this equipment to Sierra Leone, but because of bureaucracies here and there, we could not get the response we expected. We even flew one of the guys in charge of this project, a Swedish guy who came to Sierra Leone to meet the minister initially, but that trip was a disaster in many ways. And we were very much disappointed because we had expected him to, we expected the ministry to give him a warm reception, because he was here to help the people of Sierra Leone, not to benefit himself. And as I said earlier on, it's worth noting the name of the company that is responsible for it. It's called Human Bridge. It's a Swedish company that deals exclusively with medical equipment. We're very thankful and hope that this relationship continues in the years to come. And we have already received assurances from Human Bridge representatives that they are willing, they have the capacity and ability to deliver on such requests. So we only hope that we on our side, our government and our people, would see the benefit of these equipment and stretch their helping hand so that the process could be done in a very easy, much easier way, so as to avoid all these hurdles at the care and other constraints that might kind of discourage us to continue.
That was the Public Relations Officer, Sierra Leoneans living in Sweden, that actually made a presentation of hospital equipment worth $50,000 to Caritas Freetown. The Legal Aid Board has said early warning signs ahead of the March 7th elections must be addressed. Claire Carlton Hansels was addressing representatives from civil society on discouraging electoral violence. This is part of strides by the board to ensure violence to elections. Princess Gibson was at the engagement, and she can report.
As we sit here, the early warning signs are very serious. We cannot dismiss them. We cannot wish them away. So each person that is here, by the time you're leaving, the question you have to answer is, what message am I taking to my organization? How quickly are we going to summon a meeting? What is going to be our own election non-violence activity that we are going to undertake? How are we going to undertake it? Who are we going to impact? As all of you sit here, you come from very serious organizations, and we all have a lot of work to do.
She said the 2018 elections has its own dynamics and therefore called on civil society to take actions that will promote peaceful elections. The executive director also noted that liquor dealers must also be engaged, as most young people are engaged in irresponsible intake of alcohol. The president of the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, Jennings Wright, said the maintenance of peace is the responsibility of all and called on representatives of civil society to engage on neighborhood watch and also report cases of violence to police. Some of the concerns from representatives of civil society borders on the independence of the judiciary, the role of the media, and the response time of the Sierra Leone police to incidences. Representatives of civil society are to be provided with police toll-free line to report incidences. Princess Gibson, SLBC News.
The Sierra Leone Housing Corporation has held its strategic review and staff capacity building retreat at the Osai's restaurant at Moritown. The retreat was held on the theme Halting Potential Housing Emergency. Abubakar Bangwe reports.
The strategic review and staff retreat aimed at reviewing the operational and performance metrics of the 3-year strategic plan from 2016 to 2018 and to provide a platform for its staff to review the annual work plans and enhance capacity building. General Manager, Sierra Leone Housing Corporation, Lavan Fatmata Buya Kamara, gave an overview and update of activities and strides undertaken by the institution to align the corporation's seat and its strategic vision. She called on the participants to make good use of the session that will help them greatly whilst performing their duties. Giving an overview of the strategic review and the staff capacity building retreat, Director, Sierra Leone Housing Corporation Ali Kuruma said SALOC is aiming at reviewing the operational and performance metric for 3 years.
We are here today with this workshop to look into our activities as from 2016 to 2018. Here with stakeholders from lands, from finance, from the media, from civil society. And we identify the problems and we are working on solutions.
Other speakers at the event include Center for Dialogue on Human Settlement and Poverty Alleviation, Federation and Rural Poor, officials of the Ministry of Works, Housing and Infrastructure, among others. Discussions were centered around concerns of housing gap, how governments can adequately support SALOC in the provision of affordable houses to low-income earners and other essential workers.
That will be our last news item tonight, and now turning news main points again. The First Lady Nyama Kuruma has concluded a 4-day visit to Beijing, China to seek funds to boost education in the country. Counsel for the National Electoral Commission has described the motion by plaintiff applicants as an abuse of process. Minister of Education, Science and Technology has engaged conference of principals to look into complaints from the public over exorbitant school charges. And the Inspector General of Police has met with civil society organizations and the media for a peaceful conduct of the elections. That's all in the news tonight. The news editor tonight was Ibrahim Mansouri. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Salma Tava. Good night.
It's the program that everyone is talking about on SLBC radio and television. It is such a good thing when you have a very eloquent debater turn up for your program. He makes your day. The job becomes quite interesting and easily done. National Encounter, real people, live in the studio, tough topics. What's really very tough is when they are speaking from dual points of view. At this time, they're speaking for, at the same time, they're speaking against. And in the middle, they're very confused. The weekly debate that keeps them sparring. Sometimes working on a deadline is very difficult, but when you know what to do and you know time is going, you're able to make all the necessary shortcuts, and by the time you realize, you're on air. National Encounter. My name is Samuel Wilcastle. Join me every Thursday for National Encounter. National Encounter is live on SLBC TV.
AfriCell introduces AfriCell Money for the first time in Sierra Leone for free. Now you can transfer money with your AfriCell line anytime, anywhere in Sierra Leone free of charge. With the AfriCell Money service, you can buy mobile money and transfer it for free.
AfriCell has made sending and receiving money easier and affordable with your AfriCell line.
The AfriCell Money service enables you to have money accounts on your AfriCell line where you can deposit and transfer money free of charge while sitting comfortably anywhere. To create an AfriCell Money account and start sending and receiving money, please visit any AfriCell point of sale countrywide where you can also become an AfriCell Money dealer. For more information, call 161.
Mine is indeed a connected family. From the fully loaded landline to Sierratel's super fast landline internet we have at home. Even on the move, we're still connected through the wonders of Sierratel's MiFi. In Daddy's office, the Sierratel landline internet works wonders.
Wow! Super fast! You can check your inbox for the file.
At school, my friends love it around me. You know why? Because of my fast and reliable Sierratel's MiFi. Our day doesn't end without a video call with Grandma. Catching up with Grandma to say goodnight is my favorite. And all this is made possible with Sierratel's super fast internet, the MiFi. mobile phone and landline services.
Whether at home, office, or on the move, Sierratel keeps you connected wirelessly with super-fast internet on its landline service with multiple number of users simultaneously.
The race to the State House in Sierra Leone is nearing its end. The favorite at the moment is Dr. Samara Kamara. His dominance in politics is a manifestation of his ability to change the political dynamism. Determined to robustly fight corruption and lawlessness, his forte is economic development. So, Sierra Leoneans should be assured of developments